Today we're going to take this Olympus DLA probe and get it to work with the Sonotest Phblllt. This probe here is a DLA Corrosion Probe, or more properly a 7.5 DL32 Rex 1 IHC. All that stuff means 7.5 megahertz. DL is dual linear. 32 is the number of elements on any one side. Rex 1 is just the model type, and IHC stands for irrigation holes and carbides. This probe is kind of like my favorite dually, a D790, maybe yours too, except with the advantages of phased array. Because duals pitch and catch from opposite sides, there's really no dead zone, no ringing out through the paint or through the entry surface, so we get better near-surface resolution than we would if we did something, say, straight on pulse echo like hydrophore. This particular model of corrosion transducer is wired differently than what you might think a normal DLA would be wired. Normally, you'd think, say, elements 1 to 32 would be on one side and 33 to 64 would be on the other side. That's not the case. In this one, they've actually got the even elements on one side and the odd elements on the other side. Now, Olympus, evident, has done this so that you don't need the pulsar receiver option, so you can actually use this on an Omniscan SX. But this means you have to tell the instrument to fire on the even elements and listen on the odd elements. That's not something we are normally able to do on the instrument, so Olympus gives you a USB key with all the setup files on it. Now, I'm offshore. Actually, I'm on lunch, and I'm hoping to get this video done before everybody comes back. Ladies, give a warm round of applause for Randy. I'm going to show you how to do this with an instrument that lets you turn on or off each element. I'll be using the Sonotest Phblllt and the element activation wizard. First off, what if we don't do anything special? What if we just plug it in and treat it like a normal DLA probe? What does it look like? If we set it up like a regular DLA probe, so pitch on 1 to 32 and catch on 33 to 64, we get a bunch of repeating echoes, which is not something you would expect from a dually, which should be basically dead quiet until it hits something. It's not pitching from one side and catching on the other. It's all mixed together. If you've got an Omniscan, you've got setup files that do everything for you. If you don't, let's do it on the Phblllt. On a normal DLA, you would set it up probably as 2 transducers. We're going to do the same thing here, except instead of splitting it at 1 to 32 and then 33 to 64, we're going to set both transducers to use elements 1 all the way to 64. So once we make probe number 1, we just copy it to make probe number 2. Phblllt will let me do this. It gives me a little yellow warning sign to tell me we're doing funny things. That's okay. We'll let it sit there for now. Then what we do is go to the calibration menu, and inside there you're going to find something called Element Activation Wizard. This lets you turn on and off individual elements on your probe. And you may be asking yourself, why the heck, under normal circumstances, would I want to turn off an element? Well, using an Olympus DLA probe on a Sonotest Phblllt is maybe not a normal circumstance. So here we go. The Element Activation Wizard gives us a workaround for the special wiring that's in the probe. For probe number 1, we only want the odd elements. So in the wizard, what we do is we go turn off all of the even elements. And for probe number 2, we turn off all the odd elements. Now, we just set up a regular pitch-catch focal law, transmitting on probe 1 and receiving on probe 2. Remember, we're actually using every other element, so if you set up an 8-element aperture, it's actually only firing 4 elements. So the pitch on this is 1 millimeter, so if you want a 4 millimeter aperture, you're going to set elements 1 to 8. Now when we look at the response, it makes sense. By turning off every other element, we keep the transmission on one side and the reception on the other. We basically got the same screen presentation on the Phblllt as we do on the Omniscan. And that's about it. On some instruments, you have some settings in here which may seem a little bit mysterious at first. In this case, on the Phblllt, with the Element Activation Wizard, the ability to turn on and off different elements allows us to use something like this Olympus DLA Corrosion Probe on the Phblllt. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe buttons, and thanks for watching.